My name is Jack, and this is my video interview on a friend Joe. And what's your name?
I'm Jack's friend Joe. Hi, everybody.
Why did you make the webcomic? He has a webcomic. Why did you decide to make your webcomic?
Well, whenever I started my webcomic, it was mostly because I'd spent a lot of my time just drawing, and I decided to put that together into something a little bit more productive so I could look back at it a couple years and have something to show for all the hard work.
And Joe, who are the characters in this webcomic?
Alright, well, there's a lot of characters, so I'll just name a couple. The main character is named Square Woot, and she is a superhero with a robot arm and builds all kinds of crazy inventions, like Catbot 9000, who is about 10 feet tall and behaves like a cat, just supersized with robot powers. And there's also a penguin named Pengy, who can breathe ice and basically just eats fish and does penguin things. And the main villain is called Riot Girl, who is a 200-foot tall, gigantic girl that causes trouble in the city, breaking buildings and things like that.
Who is your favorite character and why?
My favorite character would probably be Catbot, because it's fun to write for a cat. Cats are an enjoyable character to put inside like a gigantic robot shell and think, well, what would a cat do if they had all these kind of powers? Well, they would still basically sleep and be very demanding, and they would scream everything they say, and that's what Catbot does.
That's a pretty good answer. So I've heard you had a game. Why did you decide to make this game?
Well, we are making a board game / card game called Heroic Hustle, and we recently got the funding for it this year, and it's almost complete. The reason we decided to put it together was it's a cooperative game, and me and my roommate always play a lot of co-op games, but a lot of them are really hard, and none of them we thought were really family friendly. And we thought we could put together something using the characters from the comic in order to make a fun, family-friendly game that a lot of people can play and work together as opposed to playing against each other.
What do you do in the game? That's the main part of the game.
Okay. Well, the main part of the game is every player takes on the role of superheroes set in this universe, trying to stop villains that are attacking the city. And every single round, you're using the heroes in your hand to help prevent the villains from getting through. And there's a lot of cooperation. You have to work with your fellow players in order to kind of coordinate stopping everybody, because you can't do it alone. You always have to work with your allies.
Is there multiple villains in the game, and who's your favorite? Why?
Yes, there are multiple villains. Most of them have shown up in the comic. Riot Girl, who I mentioned before, is in there. There's also a mummy that is like an organized crime mummy. We also have a gigantic cow called a Terra Bull.
That's good fun. And who was your favorite?
My favorite of our villains would probably have to be Riot Girl, just because she's been in the comic the most, and I know the most about that character. Like, I've drawn her the most, I've written for her the most. That's why she'd probably be my favorite.
Is there multiple heroes you can play as, and who is your favorite?
Yes, there are multiple heroes, and again, it's a lot of people that have shown up in the comic. My favorite would probably have to be Square Woot, the main character in the comic, because whenever you're playing as her, you can do things that will manipulate the deck, because she's a smart mad scientist, so she has all these mad scientist abilities that you can use in the game to help you out. So she's probably my favorite to play as.
That was all for the interview. This is my friend Joe. I met him at HeroClix one day, which is a game I played right before this interview. And bye.